Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here, and today, since it is such a stormy night, I'm doing my Cloudians, because it seemed very appropriate. Alright, so basically Cloudians are generally water attribute fairy monsters who cannot be put in defense position, otherwise they will be destroyed. But they cannot be destroyed by battle. And they require cloud counters to get their effects off. So let's go. We have two of your boss monster, Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon. Now this one is actually a wind attribute and aqua monster. It's so weird, honestly, that it's like this, but yeah. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in face-up defense, destroy it. When this card declares an attack, change the battle position of all face-up monsters except Cloudian monsters. So there you go. At least that part doesn't work against you. We've got two Cloudian Nimbusmen. Now, the rest of these Cloudians are going to be Water Fairy. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card in face-up defense position is in face-up defense position, destroy it. You can tribute any number of water monsters for tribute summoned of this card. When this card is tribute summoned, place one fog counter. That's what I meant, not cloud counter. Fog counter. For each water monster you tributed. This card gains 500 attack for each fog counter on it. Got two Cloudian Cirrostratus. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in face-up defense position, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place one fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster. You can remove two counters from this card to destroy one monster on the field. That could be yours or your opponent's. Obviously, generally, your opponent's. Got one Cloudian Turbulence. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in face-up defense position, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place one fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster that is on the field. You can remove one fog counter from this card to special summon Cloudian Smoke Ball from your deck or from either player's graveyard. And you've got three Smoke Balls. It's a vanilla. It's a level 1 vanilla. Got one Cloudian Acid Cloud. This card cannot be put in battle position. If this card is in face-up defense, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place one fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster on the field. You can remove two fog counters from this card to destroy one spell or trap card. Got three Cloudian Fog Ghost. This card cannot be special summoned. All battle damage to either player from a battle involving this card becomes 0. If this card is destroyed by battle, distribute new fog counters equal to the level of the monster that destroyed it among face-up monsters. So if you have your Ghost Fog attack a level 8 monster, then you're going to distribute 8 fog counters on the field to your opponents as well, for good reason, or to your own, to get your effects off. And got the last of our Cloudians, Cloudian Poison Cloud. When this face-up card attacks or is attacked and is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, destroy the monster that destroyed it, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent. And it's going to get destroyed because it has 0 attack. we have our next monsters. Zeradius, Herald of Heaven. This is a really big help to the deck because all your monsters can't go into defense, so this is some major support. You can discard this card to the graveyard and add 1 the Sanctuary in the Sky from your deck to your hand. If the Sanctuary in the Sky is not face up on the field, destroy this card. So pitch the card and get your Sanctuary because you want your Sanctuary on the field at all times. You will find out soon enough why, unless you already know, of course. Lastly, for our monsters, we have Masked Chameleon. It is a tuner, a level 4 tuner with this effect. Cannot be normal summoned if you control a level 5 or higher monster. When this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 monster with 0 defense in your graveyard and special summon that target in face-up defense. If this card, its effects are negated, you cannot special summon any other monsters except from the extra deck during the turn you activated this effect. So basically, you can summon one of your level 4s or level 1s from the grave of monsters that have 0 defense. And then you can either Xyz summon for a level 4, or you can tune for a level 5 or 8. I mean, rank 4, my bad. We got 3 Sanctuary in the Sky because, again, you really want this card on the field at all times. If it gets destroyed, you want to put it back on the field. Battle damage to the controller of a fairy type monster from a battle involving a fairy type monster becomes 0. So practically all your monsters are fairies. So they can be destroyed by battle, and if they get attacked, you won't receive damage because they're fairies. Got 3 Cloudian Squall, a continuous face-up spell. During each of your standby phases, place 1 fog counter on every face-up monster. This is how you get to reload your effects, and it's really helpful, honestly. Three Diamond Dust Cyclone. This is the benefit of putting fog counters on your opponent's monsters. Select 1 monster with 4 or more fog counters, destroy it, then draw 1 card for every fog counter that were on it. Now, of course, if with your Cloudian Squall or your Smoke Ghost, if you have 1 monster and they have 1 monster and your Smoke Ghost was destroyed, they each get 4, so you can automatically use this, tribute their monster, and draw 4 cards. Or you can wait with Cloudian Squall, and once their monster has 4 counters, you can tribute their monster, or your monster, doesn't really matter, draw 4 cards. 1 Lucky Cloud. During the end phase, if you summoned 2 or more Cloudian monsters with the same name, this turn draw 2 cards. This is generally going to be with your Smoke Balls, because you're going to special summon 3, most likely. That's the end of our spells. Now for our traps, it's something. We got 2 Paleozoic Morella. If you don't know what they are, basically they are trap monsters once they are special summoned from the grave. So send 1 trap from your deck to the graveyard once per chain. When a trap is activated while this card is in your graveyard, special summon this card as a normal monster, Aqua type, water, level 2, 1200 attack, 0 defense. This is the same for all of them. It is not treated as a trap card. It is treated as a monster. And if summoned this way, this card is unaffected by monster effects. Also banish it when it leaves the field. Got 2 Paleozoic Dinomischus. Target one face-up monster on the field, discard one card, and if you do, banish it. Once per chain, when a trap is activated while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card as, same as before. If this card is summoned this way, this card is unaffected by monster effects. Also banish it when it leaves the field. Two Paleozoic Canadia. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position once per chain. When a trap is activated while this card is in your graveyard, special summon this card as a normal monster. If this card is special summoned this way, it's unaffected by monster effects, and banish it when it leaves the field. One Paleozoic Olenoidus. I'm sorry. Target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. Then the same for the rest. One Paleozoic Eldonia. Target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack and defense until the end of the turn. Same for the rest. And then one Paleozoic Pikaia. Discard one Paleozoic card, then draw two cards. And then the same for the rest. That's the end of our main deck. Now for our extra deck, we have one number 54 Lionheart. Requires 3 level 1 monsters, hence your smoke balls. This face-up card cannot be destroyed by battle. When you take battle damage from battles involving this card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of battle damage you took. If this card battles an opponent's monster during the damage calculation in either player's turn, you can detach one material from this card. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from that battle. So not only do they get the damage you would have gotten, they also get the damage they would have gotten from the damage you would have gotten. So they get the full damage. You get one number 45 Crumble Logos, the Prophet of Demolition. Requires 2 or more level 2 monsters. So that's where you get to use your Paleozoics. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card. Then target one other face-up card on the field. While this monster is face-up on the field, that target has its effects negated. While that target is face-up on the field, cards with the same name as that target and their effects cannot be activated. You got 3 Paleozoic Opabania. Requires 2 level 2 monsters. So again, obviously, Paleozoics. This card is unaffected by other monsters' effects. You can activate Paleozoic traps from your hand. If this card has a trap as an Xyz material, you can detach one material from this card and add one Paleozoic trap from your deck to your hand. You can only activate this effect of Paleozoic Opabania once per turn. Because I didn't have enough, one Paleozoic Anomalocaris. I'm sorry. Requires 3 or more level 2 monsters. This card is unaffected by other monster effects. Once per turn, if trap cards are sent from the spell or trap zone to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can excavate the top of your deck, and if it is trapped, add it to your hand, otherwise send it to the graveyard. Once per turn, during either player's turn, if this card has a trap as an Xyz material, you can detach one material from this card, then target one card on the field and destroy it. We have one Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Requires 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach 2 Xyz material from this card, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half of its current attack, and if it does, this card gains the lost attack. Sorry, I'm getting a dry throat. 2 more. You got one Armides, Keeper of Boundaries. for your chameleon, since it's a tuner, a level 4 tuner. Requires 1 tuner or 1 or more non-tuner monsters. If this card attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. And lastly, 1 Goyo King. It requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. I might have made a miscalculation. Anyway, when this card declares an attack on an opponent's monster, this card gains 400 attack for each Earth Warrior monster or synchro monster you control until the end of the damage step. When this card is destroyed by an opponent's monster by battle, send it to the graveyard. You can activate one of these effects. Either special summon the monster to your side of the field, or take control of one face-up monster your opponent controls. I'm sure I can work with it. Alright guys, so that's my Cloudian deck for this very rainy, stormy night. Tell me what you think. How would you improve it? What would you do? Give me some feedback. Alright. Remember to like and subscribe. I make budget-friendly decks. I have 100+ decks, so there's going to be a lot of fun content coming. Please like and subscribe.